So I know I said I wouldn't make no more videos of the friend that hurt me, but I got a letter. Yeah, so I got a letter because Julie went to go retrieve my aunt's hoodie, which I got back. I was supposed to make the video yesterday, but a lot was going on, and the more I read this, the more I get mad. So I'm going to try really hard to stay calm, and I don't have makeup on because tomorrow I'm going to pick up hopefully some new friends. I did meet them at the hospital. They're pretty nice. But this is going to be the first time actually hanging out with them in public, so we'll see how it goes, if they can handle me. So I want to talk about this because I want to get it off my chest. And Julie's here to help me with some things. So first of all, it says, Dear Gabrielle, which that's the first for me, because I wrote the first letter when I got out to mental hospital, and I went over there to initially talk to her, but since she didn't answer the door and she hid behind the door like a coward, okay, because it's not like I was there to beat the living crap out of her or start a fight. I was honestly going to be like, why? Like, why did you send me there, and why did you block me? Why couldn't you have just said sorry, and we could have still been friends? But I guess after reading this letter, it kind of makes sense. She was never my friend. I feel like I just got used. And sorry, you see little bags under my eyes. I may or may not be tired. So, first of all, it says, Dear Gabrielle, like I said. The letter I gave her was Maddie, which is me. My name's Maddie, and I don't appreciate when I tell people my name and they know my legal name and they're like, call me by that. That's kind of disrespecting me because I do have DID. So, no, that's not okay to disregard someone when they say they want to be called by something. Because she kind of did the same thing to her brother when we first met. Her and her brother were arguing, and then she kind of stopped because her brother is trans. And or from last night, her brother is trans. And when she got mad at her brother because they were arguing, she was like, oh, he's lazy, he's not doing this. She reverted back to, oh, my sister. And I'm like, wait a minute. Me and Julie are both like, you told us that you had a brother, and now you're saying sister, which that's very not okay to say that to a trans person because it messes with their head a lot, and it's very hurtful to blatantly disregard what they asked they want to be called. Because when I met her brother, he was really nice. And I did notice one thing when I seen him, like the room was really dirty, but my house has been dirty countless of times. Am I ashamed of it? Kinda, but it just shows I have depression and so does my wife. Like, my house is pretty good right now, but it has been to a point where it's like, ugh. And that's me being honest. People can judge, I don't care, but I know the real people out there who are like, my house was messy too, or my house is messy. There are clothes that need to be folded, there are clothes that need to be washed, dishes, swept, mop, vacuumed, all of that. I've been on a really good streak about keeping it clean. I'm like, hey, let's tidy up the apartment. But their brother has a lot going on, and I didn't appreciate her calling their brother out of their name. And they also were talking about how they were adopted and they don't fit into their family. I'm like, well, when you're adopted, you come from a completely different family and genetics and mental illness that runs in the family and probably got traded on to the brother, then that will explain a lot of things. But her and her mom were kind of being really rude to the brother. But I didn't have anything against him. I met him. He was super sweet. And it also says, P.S. Please don't make any more attempts of contact. This is my last goodbye. That's kind of funny for me because since I'm also autistic, the way that I read things or the way that things are said to me, it's just like that made it seem like I've been trying to contact her. No, honey. I only tried one time. That's after I got out of the hospital that you sent me to. I did try, and she didn't answer. She just hid behind the door like a coward. So, gonna keep that up because that is a coward move. So, don't know why she would. P.S. Please don't. Okay, like I would ever contact you again because reading this shows, yep, probably glad you're out of my life. Okay, so says, let me make this clear. I did everything in my power to help you before I resorted in calling the cops. I contacted Julie, I contacted Frank, I contacted Serenity to all go and check on you, which she didn't do everything in her power. I think she did contact Serenity because that's another friend. She was in Loveland. She's like, oh, wait, is that whatever she tried to call me? I'm like, yeah, I guess. What's she doing? You better go to your cage right now. No, go to your cage. Go. You know you're not supposed to be in the kitchen. Go, now. Anyways, sorry you had to see that. But, she didn't really try and contact Julie. Julie did come here on her break because I asked her to, though. Not because Lee told her to come. Julie came because Lee also did message her, but it's also because I wanted Julie here. Julie came and she was like, what's wrong? You know, Lee told me that you were sending her some videos of stuff and that it wasn't, you know, it didn't look right. And I'm like, well, that's true. And I did tell Julie. Julie, please explain. What did you see when you came home?
You making dinner?
And what did I tell you?
You were upset and that you were sending her some stuff, but that was about it. That you just wanted me to come home. That's it. It was nothing out of the ordinary for you.
Yeah, because this is my therapy session. Anyone can get mad. I don't really care, especially if she watches this. Hi, bye. I may be a little bit petty. I've been trying so hard not to be mad when I'm reading this, but so it says she contacted them, and then it says Julie completely disregarded your suicide attempt. Not a suicide attempt. She came in my apartment one day in like July, and I was literally in the bathtub with a knife to my arm and my throat. And she came in to me in the bathtub with the water running, and I still had clothes on, and I was just going ham out my arm, and she snatched the knife away. I'm like, that would have been a more appropriate time to call the police, because I had actual evidence of that and on my throat. That I'm not going to deny. I have tried to end my life as long as I can remember, because, well, life really does suck for me, or at least it sucks for my head. So she says, you sent me a video of you literally taking razor to your throat. I knew that if I had tried to call, which we were already on the phone previously, that you would not have picked up, which is a lie. Because anytime she called and kept calling, I would eventually answer. But at that point, she was just like going on about a bunch of stuff that I was just like so irritated. And if she was honestly my best friend, she would have picked up on that, because I told her previously on the phone about what happened the night prior that was making me upset that day. Because the night prior, like I said, I don't know if I said another video, but I'm going to say it again. Me and my wife tried to do, you know, things in the bedroom, and it kind of traumatized me and made me go back to whenever bad things were happening to me. So the day after, because I didn't get any sleep that day, it was the third day of no sleep. And I didn't get any sleep, and I had fallen at Walmart, and then I also fell whenever we were coming up with groceries. I had a seizure, and I fell. I was having a really bad day with my vision, and just everything was really bad. Because I think I was too stressed. So that's where that really doesn't make sense, because she usually calls before. She would blow up my phone a lot, and her mother would too. She would be like, hey, that's what I was expecting. You know, not that I sent that video for anything other. I was just literally irritated, because it's like she just kept going on, and I'm like, when you do that to someone who is already going through a lot, I don't want to hear it. So, But, so that you would not have picked up, like I said, not true, because anytime she called, what happened?
You answer. Move on. You explain this.
Yeah, I would answer. So I didn't call Julie because she was at work, but right above the sentence it says that she contacted Julie, but Julie just disregarded. So that's kind of confusing, right?
Like, what did you do? Did you contact me or not?
Yeah. So that's odd. I lost my point. Can you help? I lost where I was at. Sorry.
As a mandatory reporter, it is my duty and responsibility to call the cops, even if you hadn't asked me to, which you absolutely did tell me that you needed the cops. if I hadn't have reported it and you had in fact taken your life, I would lose my future career and I would have been fired and possibly put in jail for having knowing and not saying a damn word.
Which that's where we want to talk about that too. Mandatory reporter. Okay, let's go back to July when I was in the bathtub and she literally barged in my bathroom and seen me and yanked it from my hand. She should have called the police then. But
She didn't.
me making suicide attempts is nothing new to me because, like I said, I've been trying my whole life. My therapists do know about this, and I have blatantly told my therapist, I want to die. I don't want to be alive. And she understands that. She would only, which she hasn't really called the cops a lot on me. She has did wellness checks. She's like, she didn't come to her therapy, and I'm kind of worried, which that's understanding. Like if I overslept or something, or if I just didn't want to talk, she's like, you need to talk to me. But my therapist doesn't just call because I'm suicidal. I'm not going to lie and say I'm not, because I am. But, like I said, she literally came in with me doing things in the bathtub. So that doesn't make sense. I don't know what point of this that she finally had enough of me and tried to have that excuse if she's a mandatory reporter. Okay, well, you failed a lot of other times, and how about that? You failed when you came in my bathroom and you seen what I was doing. So, I don't want to hear the mandatory reporter because I'm not a guinea pig, right? That's what she told me. I'm not her guinea pig or test subject, but I awfully felt like it at times, especially when she introduced me to her friends, which was highly, highly awkward. She would constantly can you come, or say a bunch of things and kind of make me feel bad if I didn't want to go. So whenever I went there, it was very odd because they didn't know me and they seen a lot of things, and I don't like new people just knowing everything about me. And it was very awkward to see. Because for the whole summer it was literally just us hanging out. So having to get thrown at some college people like that when they don't know me and they're just gonna sit there and judge me, probably. I don't like that. But yeah, I don't like the fact that she says that she's a mandatory reporter because that makes no sense. It's like she picks and chooses, because there have been a lot of times when I blatantly told her that my warning signs of when it is okay to call the cops. But this time, no. This time, like I said, I have the screenshot of Snapchat when I said I need cops, but it was I was talking about my brother. So, yeah. But I said the same thing to Julie. Did I say the same thing to you?
Mm-hmm.
What did I say?
That got the cops called on you? But what then?
I need cops.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah.
Literally just that you needed the cops, but you weren't typing right, so it looked like you were either fighting yourself or you just couldn't see.
Which anyone who knows me would know, me typing one letter at a time is very strange because I don't do that. And I could not see, as I said, my vision was really bad all day and it kept going black like this, just closing in. So she should have called. She's like, do you need the cops? And she said I didn't answer, which I didn't because I was busy. Because I was busy making dinner. So what you absolutely did tell me, like I said, she should have asked more why you typing like that, because Julie said the same thing. She's like, what's wrong? And then I finally sent a voice message, but I was saying that to her on Snapchat and I was sending that to Julie on Facebook. But this to me just seems like if she didn't do it, then she was more caring about her career than her best friend, of knowing that if she called the cops, because she could have put, okay, does she actually need my help? Is she actually doing this? Or is it just she's going through something right now? Because I can do that all I want. I can say I want to die and I can hold a weapon, but I won't actually do anything, because knives to me are not like they are anyone else. My choice of self-harm is pills, not knives. I can't do knives. And anyone who knows me knows that I can't do knives. I've tried. It hurts. Right? I'm not trying to laugh like it's funny, but I don't do knives. So, yeah, there's that. That's me bluffing, but whatever. But so her saying that she would lose her future career, that just seems like that was more important than my mental health. So so that's great. So I will take responsibility for that, which that's not what I was telling her to take responsibility for, right?
I take responsibility for it. Good for you.
Yeah,
That's not the problem.
I was telling her to take responsibility that she put me in that situation and didn't even apologize. She just blocked me. I won't take responsibility for what happened after the fact. That's where she's wrong, which she should take responsibility. She's blaming me and everyone else when everything went down. She knows how I am with hospitals. She knows the hospitals treat me like absolute garbage and don't treat me like a human. I can go on and on and on about how these hospitals are complete and utter BS, which I'm going to try and take legal action against, because no, I'm tired of people treating me like I'm not a human. I'm a human. I have mental illnesses, but that doesn't mean I'm stupid or crazy or a bad person. That just means I went through a lot of damn trauma.
Which, by the way, just in general, these hospitals fucking suck, and literally everybody in the town knows that. Because everybody complains about both of the hospitals.
Yep.
So
she's not going to take responsibility for what she actually did. She's going to take responsibility of saving her ass, and so she doesn't lose her job, or what? I think she should lose her job, honestly. I don't think she should be a mandatory reporter, because who in their right mind, if my kids or any other kids with any kind of trauma or anything went to her as a school counselor and she put them in a mental hospital, they would never talk to her again, because I'm not the only one who feels this way. A lot of other people who get sent to mental hospitals don't trust the people who put them there. They don't ever trust to tell them the same things again. They'll go, I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. They're not fine. Don't you want people to tell you the truth? I tell my therapist the truth, both of them, and they're like, okay. They don't make me feel bad. They're like, if it's really bad, I'm just letting you know I will. And I'm like, I understand that. But they don't. If they felt that there was a problem, they would have did something. Because that night, I was even texting my therapist and I told her, I don't want to be alive. And I was trying to tell her what happened the night before. I didn't have the chance to do that. But she was asking, okay, what's wrong? And then I was cooking dinner and then the cops came and I didn't get a chance to do that. But I have the text. I was talking to my therapist, and my therapist, if she was here, she would answer truthfully. I'm like, yeah. If my therapist was concerned, my therapist could have called. No. That's gonna make me go on a big rant. I cannot control what the cops do. You're right. You're absolutely right. But she did know that the cops here were absolutely trash, and they all treated me like garbage. So there's that. Because there were about 15 to 20 men in my apartment. Me with PTSD with men. Yeah, that's not a good combination when I'm looking all around my apartment and they're standing here. And they're standing with the door open. I'm like, can you shut my damn door? I have animals. Let's not hold it open. And there was only one girl, and she was with the EMT. But the other EMT was also a man. I'm sorry. They're like, yeah, your vitals are all, like, okay-ish, but you're kind of, your heart beats. Yeah, I wonder why my heart beats racing, because there are men in my apartment next to me, crowding me. Let's have someone with PTSD with that gender, and then all of the people that are there make them go crazy, and see what happens to them. So I cannot control what happens when everything is said and done. It killed me to call the cops, which if it did kill you that bad, then wouldn't you have made it up to me or even came to the ER? Just, dude, I didn't expect them to actually take you here. Like, what's going on? No, she didn't show up to the ER at all. You know who did?
If it was that hard for her to fucking call the cops, she wouldn't have called the cops in the first place.
Like I said, there are worse times that she could have called the cops, but she did it on a day where she didn't even try to call me because she was making an excuse right here. Just, you wouldn't have picked up. Yes, I would. I'm not just going to sit there and let my phone go off and off and off whenever someone's calling, because then I'm like, well, they could call the cops, because I know myself to that point. I know that if I scare someone, if someone thinks I'm actually going to hurt myself and they keep calling me and they give me a warning, say, if you don't answer the phone, call on the cops. She didn't do that. She didn't give me anything. She only said one time and didn't even give me enough time. I was cooking dinner, okay? So, don't believe it really killed her. I think she's just feeling really guilty, which is good. I even asked if you wanted me to call the cops and you didn't say yes or no. So, that right there, why did you do it then? Why did you call them if I didn't even answer?
I asked if we could have sex, and I didn't get an answer, so I did it anyway.
As for what happened after, if you were truly okay, you could have bullshitted the cops like you always do. Which, no, I was telling them I'm fine. Literally, the cop walked in with me holding a knife. No, it wasn't not to my body. It was to some meat. I was cutting up my pork roast, which got wasted. But the cops didn't tell me to put it down. They were like, okay. He asked the first time, he's like, can you put the knife down? I looked at him and said, no, sir, you came here uninvited. I am making dinner. I'm going to continue what I'm doing. He's like, do you know why we're here? And I'm like, because a friend wanted to play a hero. And then, yeah, I did tell them I was fine. But once my PTSD got triggered by men, and I also told them I haven't slept for 3 days, and they're like, all right, you can go to the hospital now. How many times do I have to tell cops and everyone I have PTSD with men? What does that mean? I want someone, Julie, look up PTSD with men, please.
No.
Hey, Google, what does PTSD with men mean?
On the website mayoclinic.org, they say post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event, either experiencing it or witnessing it. Symptoms may include flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety, as well as uncontrollable thoughts about the event.
Yeah, so that all happened to me when all these men were staying in my apartment. And I had to be fine, right? Because they were all here because my friend had made it seem like I was bleeding from my throat and dying, right? Because she didn't see for herself. She only seen a video of me getting pissed off at her because she kept pushing me. So you could have bullshitted the cops like you always do. It doesn't matter if I claim that you are suicidal or not, which you are, which, yes, I am very suicidal. Thank you for pointing out the obvious thing. And you hadn't even slept in 3 days. That's not normal. I didn't sleep for a week. And before her, I didn't sleep. My sleep habits have been going on, since I was like 15, 14, my sleep habits have been very bad. So, just gonna throw that out there. But obviously it's not normal, but I'm still functioning. Nothing about your mental health is normal, which thank you, Captain Obvious. It's not normal. What? I'm pissed off. Had you shown the video to anyone else, they would have done the same thing, which I have asked more than a handful of people, and they all agree with me that, I don't know what that word is again. I'm right there. The one where she was telling people about me.
They all agree with me that with your described message, that it seemed like you didn't feel safe within yourself. As for having the time to call the cops but not having the time to drive over, it takes less time talking to the police than it does to driving over, stopping you from attempted suicide, and causing me to drop everything for you when I literally told you I didn't have the time.
Which, gonna go back to right there. Thank you for gloating that you had your proof of, aren't you guys gonna agree with me that she was suicidal? How about they know my story too, honey bunny, and not just your side? Because if they would talk to me, they would probably look at you and like, why'd you do it then? Why'd you tell her? Why'd you have these people go there instead of going there yourself? That's a lazy ass move, because if you can pick up the phone, you can go there, because it takes just as much time for law enforcement to get here than it does for you, a best friend who's supposedly worried and distraught over her best friend of dying, right? Because if it was you on that side, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go there because she kind of worried me. She's not answering her phone. I called and called and called. She's not answering. I even had my mom go and message her. She's not answering now. All right, that's whenever I race over there, breaking every law I can and running red lights to make sure my best friend is okay. Because if I know they have a very, very big traumatizing event with hospitals and cops, I'm going to do everything I can to not make that happen. She didn't. But she's trying everything to make herself seem like a good hero, right? Yay, I called the cops on my best friend, but she hates me because she got traumatized because of you. You did it. And you're still not taking responsibility. This is not taking responsibility. This is showing, well, I asked people. I don't care if you ask people. You traumatized the living shit out of me. And you get to walk off scot-free. All right? Cool. You got to lay in your bed, right? You didn't get to have to strip down naked and have everyone take your clothes and have people look at your naked body, right? Wait till that happens to you. Then you're going to feel the exact same way I do. And a lot of other people like me who don't want to go to a mental hospital want to know why. Because they are horrible places. Horrible, horrible, horrible places. Especially the ones here in Colorado.
Well, just in America in general.
They are the most horrible places I can ever imagine. Because it's honestly like a prison. You have to do the things there. And if you don't, you're staying there longer. And if you tell them, I am suicidal, they're, aren't you staying here long? You know what I tell my therapist? I'm suicidal. They know that. You know what they don't do? They don't just send me into a hospital like, all right, let's get to the root of the problem so we can try and help that these suicidal ideations will come less and less, which my therapists are really great. I'm working on that. And by the way, I've been working on that because, like I said, I was talking to my therapist that night because I reached out to her when I realized I'm not okay and I'm really sad. So I messaged her. But,
You have a really good therapist.
yep, my therapists are amazing, by the way. I love them both. So after her gloating about, I showed a handful of people and they agree with me. All right, let the handful of people talk to me. Let me tell them I have PTSD with men. She didn't even make any other efforts to contact me or come here. Because she tells me all the time, I'm too busy to talk on the phone, but calls me. And let's back up before school started, because she also told me, and I have messages, so does Julie, she told me that she wanted to wean me off of her, make it seem like I was attached to her. No, we were both fairly equal. You wanted to hang out with me, I wanted to hang out with you. That's what best friends do, right? No, she told me she wanted to wean me off of her, and then whenever I was doing that, Julie, what happened? Who was blowing up my phone? And who was telling me that they missed me?
Her. Literally couldn't even last like 2 fucking days without going
Because I was ignoring her message. And she's like, I miss you. I want to hang out with you. And I'm like, but you said that you wanted to wean away from me because when school starts, you're not going to spend as much time with me. And I'm like, okay, so let's do it now so I don't get as hurt from it whenever school starts. Because I'm not trying to say that about, I need her, like, I'm stalkerish or anything. It's just that the way that I am with friends is I attach myself because I have severe abandonment issues. So when people just randomly leave my life without telling me, or they leave on a very bad end and make me seem like the bad person, yeah, it doesn't bode well. So I gave her plenty of opportunities, though, throughout our friendship. If it was too much, I told her, if it's ever too much, let me know. And then we can just say goodbye, you know, on a good end. No. That didn't happen. So where am I at? And like I said, I've tried to kill myself a lot. I've had a lot of suicide attempts. My wife has seen a few too, but they know the best things with me because every human is different with suicide attempts or depression or sort of suicidal ideation. Everyone is different. As for me, I think that I just, whenever I'm in a state like that, I like to be distracted. I like to know that someone is right there next to me, and or if they're not there physically, they can be like Julie did, because Julie was there over the phone with me all the time. I'm like, hey, I'm really sad and I want to die. And she's like, all right, let me video call you. We will talk for freaking hours.
Bro, how many times you fell asleep on the phone with me?
Yeah, I would literally fall asleep on the phone with her. Like, that's the thing that I needed. That's the thing I still need, is people like that. So for any new people, if you do come across my videos and you see, I don't think you want to be friends with me. I'm very, very bad. But that's the kind of person I am. I like people. I like being around people. I also like my alone time. Like, I like my alone time in my bubble bath. But I can't be alone when I take a bath.
I was about to say, you're not alone in that bath anymore.
But you know what I'm saying. I like people. I like to have people around me because I hate being alone. I hate it with a passion. So, huh?
The caps is where I left off.
Caps?
Uh-huh.
But I wonder, it takes less time talking to the police than it does during driving over, stopping you from attempted suicide. And then, what does that say?
You're further down anyway. It literally needs to be, it's the sentence that's literally in full caps is where I left off.
Okay. So she told me she didn't have that time, right? But we're going to get to another part too. So she said, I am so fucking sorry that I put me first for once. Which, hon, please tell me, what is that sentence supposed to mean, that you put you first for once? You always put you first. Always. Even when we invited you out for dinner and we said, hey, we got to keep it under budget, you were always drinking and ordering drinks. We're like, okay. You took advantage of my kindness and my money. You took a lot of advantage of that. And you and your mother wanted to have the audacity to say, I was never grateful. All right, let's go through my messages and we'll see who's thankful, because you bought us a dresser, which, by the way, we never asked you to do that. So if you want the dresser back, I will go dump it off right now, because I didn't ask you for that. I don't ask anyone for anything. Want to know why? Because it gets thrown in my face if I ever ask anyone for anything. That's why I don't like asking for anything. So I'm sorry that you put you for once. Please explain. What is that supposed to mean? Because you always put you first. You even dumped me when we were supposed to hang out to go hang out with your new roommate. Like, hello? If you want me to throw shit out there, I'm going to throw shit out there. But I'm going to make everyone see the real side and the real bad side of you. Of you lying to people. Of you doing drugs and saying you got to stay clean and you don't want me posting pictures of you with the weed in your hand. Don't do it. Don't do it then. You know, a lot of school counselors, they're not doing drugs in college. They're actually focusing on their schoolwork. You, when we first met, even said, hey, can you come over here and take my phone from me and everything from me because I can't concentrate. You didn't know us. We literally came over there and were like, okay. And we took all the things from you, right? Did we not take her?
I took her phone. I took all of her PlayStation controllers. I took, what else did I take? There was something else that I took too that she couldn't have near her because it would distract her. And I'm like, okay. I had like a whole makeup case full of shit.
Yep. So that's called irresponsible and being a child. Because she wants to say that she cares about mental illness. She wants to say she's going to be a school counselor, but
she ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Truth, if you watch this video, I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. You're not going to be able to make it. You want to know why? Because the first time you send a kid to a mental hospital because, well, they were sad and they told me they wanted to kill themselves. That's supposed to be between you and the kid. Unless you really think that that kid's wrong, because sometimes people say that because that's how they feel, not how they want to do. Because I can say, I want to die. Am I going to go act on it right now? No. Do I want to die? Yes. There's a difference.
I'm passive suicidal. I'm not going to fucking do anything to myself.
So, sorry that you put you for first for once. I don't know what that means. Jeez. Me being stuck on your titty all summer.
I don't understand what it means, considering this whole bag acting like she lives here.
And she did also say she was going to move in. Because I told her it was okay. I'm like, if you want to move in, you can. She's like, yeah, I'm going to move in if I don't like my roommates. I'm like, okay.
How about, I don't know, get an actual job that pays so you can actually have a place to yourself?
Yep. I refuse to break my boundaries, which, don't know. She clearly told me when we were building the friendship all summer as she had boundaries, because there are points where whenever I was upset and I was like yelling and she thought it was at her, and I'm like, no, bro, it wasn't at you. It was just, I'm mad, and I apologized to her for that. I never once took her for granted. And I was always honest with her about almost everything. Like, I had my own opinions and ideas about how she would act or things she would say, and I'm just like, because I even told her about my sensory issues with her smacking. She's like, I can't help it. I'm like, then let's not eat in the same room, because me hearing people smack or crunch or eat, it literally drives me crazy. It is literally some type of disorder. I just can't pronounce it.
Misophonia.
But it's literally something that makes people go so freaking crazy that will make them do terrible things. Like, when me and Julie first met, I would literally look at her and I'm like, I'm about to throw something at you. Don't freaking stop making noise when you're eating. Because I know I make noise. It doesn't really bother me. Sometimes it does if I'm eating something crunchy. But hearing other people eating or slurping or doing something, I would just like, no. I hate that shit. So, let's get back to this. I refused to break my boundaries I had made for myself because I have responsibilities. Oh, I have responsibilities too, such as taking care of my house, taking care of myself, taking care of my animals. Right? No, I'm just a lazy person who's just getting paid to be half a human, right? Yep, because I can barely drive my own car. I can't even hold down a job. But yes, I love people throwing that I don't have a job in my face of that they do. They can be a normal human and do all that. Way to put people with disabilities down. You're such a great person. Because my brother did it first. My brother called me lazy and irresponsible. I'm like, I'm sorry. Who got a car first? Me or you? Oh yeah, that was right. Me. I had the Oldsmobile, the PT, the Honda, and the other Honda. So 4 cars, right? 5 cars? I've had 4 cars. My brother has had 0, except for the 2 that I gave him and 1 I took back, and 1 he still has.
Well, 1 that we took back, and he said you can have it for free. I'm not gonna pay you for something you won't give me money for.
But she has responsibilities, as she said, and caps right there. I have responsibilities. I am paying a lot of money to go to school, which no, I don't know what kind of money you're paying to go to school. You are on grants, which, because she took us to some carnival thing, like a month before all of this happened. She wanted me to ride a roller coaster for the first time because she got a lot of money.
Theme park.
Yeah, it was a theme park, but she got a lot of money from some school thing. It's paying all of her things. So I don't know where she says she's paying a lot of money to go to school because
But she
no.
also complained to you that she couldn't take a gap year because grandma's paying for everything.
Yeah. Because her grandma's helping pay for her rent and anything else she needs, and her mom's helping her pay for everything. So, honey, until you're struggling like me, paying $14.70 a month for rent alone, which my disability pays that. I don't get to just have fun and do everything. No, I still have to try and work if I can. But I'm getting disability for a reason. The government wouldn't just give me disability because of nothing. People literally fight to get on there because, yeah, you don't know everything that I've went through my whole life. You don't know me. Like this summer we hung out and I told you everything. I regret everything I told you. I wish I never told you anything, but I can't take that back because it's where I was in a stupid little phase where I thought you were my best friend. So now I'm very scared to tell anyone else anything more about me. I'm just going to tell people I do have mental illness. You want to know all about it? I'll tell you everything I have. But I'm scared to tell them everything about me because then they can turn it all on me and try and make me out to be the bad guy. Like she said in these letters that it took a toll on her. Like, what? How can you say that about someone you called your best friend and said, I love you, I cared about you? No, you can't say that about someone and then make these letters saying it took a toll on me. You know what took a toll on me? You being fake. Yep, that took a big toll on me. So I even told you that I was overwhelmed a week prior, and adding on to that with more trauma, which I don't know if she's trying to say I gave her trauma, which I would like to show her the word trauma. Because I don't know if she's saying I added trauma, which, no. What kind of trauma did I add onto you, honey bunny? You did this. I gave you a lot of opportunities to get out of my life. You never did. Not until you sent me away. And then you were like, oh, well, I'm going to go now. No, oh, okay. You make the mistake of sending me somewhere and don't even want to come face me face to face? Are you scared of me? Am I gonna beat you up? Oh no, I'm so evil. No, I'm
Attacked her.
Huh?
You never even attacked her.
No.
I got beat to shit more than she did. She got a choke attempt from Carter.
And let's not talk about that right now whenever I'm not done because I'm pretty sure the people on YouTube don't know about all of that. That's not me being bad. It's literally my mental illness. That doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It's just when the mental illness comes out and it's disoriented because it's DID. Yeah, it's not me. It's literally me dissociating. So, she was overwhelmed a week prior, which she did tell me. And I asked her, I'm like, can't you just take a gap year? And she's like, no, because then I'm going to lose all my money for my school. And I'm like, then drop something or do something else, because I tried to tell her that her mental health is more important. But now she's sitting here saying all of this and trying to blame me for her mental health going to shit. No, hon, I think that you're doing it to yourself. You're overwhelming yourself and you're taking it out on our friends, which I really hope, like, when time has gone by, that she realizes that she fucked up. I hope that she does miss me. But I'm never going to be back in her life for everything she said in these. Because it's all lies. It's all seriously lies. Because I want to know where the trauma was. And I want to know what she has responsibilities mean. Because I was not blowing up her phone. I would ask. Because I did have habits of just calling. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, I'm trying to learn that I need to ask before calling. She's like, I appreciate you doing that. She told me multiple times she appreciated how I was working and learning and trying to, you know, be different. I was technically changing myself for her because she asked me to, right? She was like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. And I'm like, okay. So I did. And I was trying really hard to be the person she wanted me to be because I didn't want her to hate me or be mad at me or do this to me. So she said trauma was more than I could take, which, like I said, what trauma? What trauma? I want to know. I'm very confused. I have put more into this friendship than I have in any. Mila, thank you for knocking that down. She's a little bunny. She always did that since she was a kid. But she said, I have put more effort into this friendship prior. I have sacrificed my time, energy, and mental health just to make sure that you are okay. Let's back up a little bit. Let's back up a little bit. Let's back up a lot of it, actually. I have sacrificed my time too, my energy and mental health just to make sure she was okay as well. Because whenever one of her little friends that she would tie up and stuff, whenever he dropped her, he just blocked her for no reason. And she was trying to blame me. She was like, well, I gave you his Snapchat. And I'm like, okay, and? She's like, what did you say to him? I'm like, I didn't say shit to him. Did she not try and blame me that day?
Yep, she was looking for every excuse to pin it on you.
And I was like, do you want to see my snap? Because no, I said, I haven't even talked to him since the last time you were over. So she was upset. She was crying. She was so distraught. So me being the nice person I was like, okay, I don't really have enough money for, you know, anything, but I'm going to try and make my best friend happy. So I went to the store, I got her some candy and a rose and I think something else, but I went there, knocked on her, huh?
It's like a little white teddy bear.
Yeah, a little teddy bear thing. And I went there and I'm like, knocked on her door and she was crying. And I wiped her little tears from her eyes and gave her a big hug and all of her stuff. And then we hung out. So I sacrificed my time, energy, and mental health. Okay, so did I. If friendships are not just one way, you would tell if it was a one-way friendship, but then you would cut that shit off right then and there. I sacrificed my time, energy, and everything too. I tried to change myself to make her happy. Never again will I ever change myself for anyone. I will give people a heads up on my mental illness though, just so they don't get so overwhelmed. So I love that she sacrificed that because... Julie, do you think that you sacrificed anything for me?
Yeah.
Well, would you say it like this?
No.
Or would you say that you sacrificed stuff because you love me?
Yeah.
Because I've sacrificed stuff for my wife, but I would never throw it at her like that. Even if we broke up, I would never throw it at her like that. I would just miss her a lot. But I'm really glad she sacrificed all of that for me. It makes me feel so special. At some point, this friendship turned from being, I don't know what that word is, wanted to being, I don't know, to being your caregiver, which is not my job. Oh, honey, you signed yourself up for that. How many times did me and Julie tell you? Multiple times. If you want out, now is your chance. No one asked or forced you to do a damn thing. You were your own person. And if I gave you any hell, if I said anything to you, you'd have my ass. And I know that. You're kind of scary.
I've never told her, hey, be my coworker, help me out. Go and get her, go find her. She could have simply told me no. No. When she couldn't go and find you, she's like, I'm busy, I can't go and find her. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, hold on, Serenity's looking for her, so it's fine. So I'm like, oh, I never asked her to. She just did. That's her problem with that.
She did that, and she constantly told me that that she did it because she loved me and she cared about me. So this point of it turned to being my friend, to caregiver, that's kind of funny. No one forced you to do anything, and you kind of already knew when we first met that I couldn't really do a lot of things, and that my mental health was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So, yeah, no one asked you to do that, did they? You did that on your own free will. If I go out and I do something on my own free will to take care of somebody, I'm never going to throw it in their face because that's something I did out of the kindness of my heart. You can't throw that shit in someone's face whenever the friendship's done because you fucked up. That's not how it works. Which is not my job. Congrats. It's definitely not your job, because if it was, you would be fired within the first day.
She fell asleep. If that was her job, she fell asleep twice on the job.
Yeah, she did fall asleep because she was high, because we were hanging out, and I don't know what exactly happened. I just know I dissociated and I left again, because I have this really bad habit. When I dissociate, I leave, because I guess I don't realize where I am at, and I just walk out the door and leave. Because one night I was gone, and when I'm dissociating from what I'm told, because I don't have memory of this. I literally don't. What I'm told by people around me, from Julie and her, and they're like, you didn't recognize me. You ran from me. You were scared of me. You were calling me a different name. You were calling yourself a different name. You know, that's what happens. So she fell asleep twice, and I juded whenever I dissociated. So she would be a very bad caregiver for anybody. And to say that me and my mother are fake from taking ourselves out of the situation because I finally had enough of being berated and belittled by your wife for caring enough about you to do the one thing she refuses to do. Fine. Which, no, honey boo boo, that's not why I say you and your mother are fake. I say you and your mother are fake because up until that day, both of you were saying, and your mother even commented on one of my Facebook posts, just keep talking. Keep talking, huh? So whenever I say I'm suicidal, I can't talk about that because then your daughter's going to send me somewhere, right? Oh, that's when I don't need to keep talking. I need to lie to your daughter because she's going to send me somewhere because she's had enough of it. No, you and your mother are fake because you told me all summer. We love you. We care about you. We're never leaving you. We're not going to be like the people in the past or people who hurt you or your family who hurt you. No, we're not going to be like them. We're better and we love you. All right. What happened 3 weeks ago? You guys left and then tried to blame my wife? Yeah, that's called being fake. Being fake is saying, I love you, I care about you, until it really just comes to my biological daughter, because your mother called me her adopted daughter. But then when it came to you, I was nothing. So, yeah, your mother should never adopt kids. She should never have kids because they turn out like you. They turn out horrible. You and your mother are horrible people. And I am not going to change my mind because when you play me along and you know I have abandonment issues, and then what do? You abandon me. And I don't even get to say anything. And then you send this letter like it's going to do something. What? Yes, you and your mother are fake. Still gonna stand on that. I will make a shirt saying that. Fake, fake, fake. And no, Julie, and I want to know where you ever got berated and belittled at. Please show me those receipts. Please show me those receipts because I never did it. I don't know where you're saying that. And here, you're making it seem that it was happening all the time. Which, by the way, you have a little attitude, and you would have said, hey, what the fuck? Stop doing that shit to me. Because Julie did admit it. And this is where you come in.
Yeah, I admitted that shit, but here's the thing. I admitted it because she decided to step into our argument, our relationship argument. She decided to step in and come at me, so I blamed her for I don't care, let me talk. I blamed her for everything that was going on, everything that was wrong, the health decline, everything. I pinned on her and said it was her fault because from my point of view, she steps in and then, the wife starts dissociating more, she gets worse and worse, seizures get worse, she's all over the place emotionally, and now I find out about all the personalities. So yeah, for me, I see this bitch stepping in as the cause of all the issues. So of course, when I'm pissed, I'm gonna say that shit. I don't have a filter on my mouth in the first place.
Obviously, you're a girl.
I don't have a filter in the first place, and then you go and piss me off, and yeah, no, that the thin, very, very thin filter I do have is gone.
But let's say one thing. So why don't you tell? So the one thing whenever Julie said that is because Julie was, like I said, our relationship is definitely not Disney related. It's real life shit with two people who are mentally, yeah. She has shit that's going on, but I'm not gonna leave her. I could have left her. And I've given her warnings that if she ever treats me bad, then she's out, because I'm trying to know my worth, and I can't know my worth if I'm constantly getting treated bad. But she's trying. She falls, I can see that now. Instead of just trying to think about it's toxic. When we first met, yes, it was very toxic. But that's because no one taught us how to communicate. No one taught us at all how to communicate. So we taught ourselves, and we're like, okay, and we're still doing it. So now, because I have a thing about if me and Julie are fighting, that if Julie usually just runs out the door. She used to do that all the time, and I told her it hurts me, because it makes me feel like I'm getting abandoned again. So now whenever we have a thing she's going to try and communicate to me, I need to take a break. And I just need her to tell me that she's going to come back, so I don't feel that I'm just going to be alone. Because who wants to be alone? It's fun. So yes, Julie did say a lot of mean things because Julie was acting out, because I don't understand why she's going through a lot, and I don't want to air out her dirty business on YouTube because it's not her therapy, it's mine. But yeah, she did yell at her because I'm done with her because she said some mean things to Eddie, and I appreciate her on that part. I appreciate her taking up for me and, you know, being there for me in a really rough time. But that was one time that Julie said anything mean like that. But she didn't get belittled. She just said, you're the problem, because Julie doesn't understand why. As soon as these people step in my life, then I go from bad to complete chaos. So I can see it from Julie's point, because if someone came in, I would be looking at them like, you came in and my wife changed, and it was not in a good way. She changed bad. Look, what are you guys doing to her, you know? And they always said the same thing to Julie, like, well, you're our daughter, you're our friend too. And Julie said, nope. Julie doesn't like to get close to people because she knows how people are. I know how people are, but yet I still do it to myself.
You see the better side in people, and I don't.
Yeah. She refuses to do that. We're fake for choosing to have self-respect and to walk away from the feelings of anxiety, confliction, for doing the right thing or what seems like the only option. There are plenty of other options that you guys could have did, but kudos to you guys for leaving my life, because you're right, because you said it here in this message, that if you didn't do this first and remove yourselves, I would have did it when I got out the hospital, which I would not have removed your mom because I thought your mom was still going to be my adopted mother, which I would understand, but she did always come. But I guess blood is very thicker than not blood. So I'm sorry that I can't handle feeling like the worst fucking human being alive for caring about you and refusing to feel bad just because your wife wants to blame everything on me. No. It's not just that. It's literally how you acted. Because a real friend would have been like, okay, well, I don't really care for your wife. And I say, okay, that's fine. You don't have to care for her because you're my friend, right? Not hers, right? She's my wife. You don't have to like my wife. I understand my wife's a bitch to people. She's a fucking New Yorker, for Christ's sake. She's a little bit of a... Yes. But I love her because I actually get to see the side of her that no one else does. Because she has a very shy side of her. She doesn't like talking about things because she feels like people are going to judge her and make fun of her for it. And don't tell me that she wasn't, which, hon, I'm not gonna tell you. I already know what Julie did. That's none of my business because I didn't tell Julie to say that. I was mad at Julie too. Because I can be mad at her. We are wives. We go through a lot. Especially whenever you're not mentally okay. And you have two people trying to help each other when they're both falling.
The only other time I belittled her was literally when she woke me up when I was asleep in the back of her car, and she just tried to say that her driving was good, and then I just outright said, no, I'd rather die in my sleep.
Yeah, her driving's pretty bad. She hops curbs all the time, scratches stuff. She's a terrible driver. Like,
she speeds like an outright fucking
she is terrible driver. She has sworn up and down that me and my mother being in your life made her life worse because she couldn't be the only one saving grace in your life anymore, which don't know what that's supposed to mean. She was never a saving grace in my life. She was my support system, even though fighting or not. Like I said, our relationship has not been perfect, but it has grown from when we first met to now. Because at least now we can both sit there and, like, if we're pissed, we're going to tell each other, hey, I'm pissed. Because she's said it multiple times since we both started communicating better and having better communication skills. Julie, how many times have you told me that you're getting irritated? It's nothing personal against me.
I don't know.
You've said it a lot. And how many times have I said the same thing to you? And I asked you to just stop talking before it gets worse, right? That's communication. That helps us so we don't take things personal when one of us is mad about something else. So, yeah. I don't know what...
I don't know what the problem was with the whole me being the only saving grace. I want the help to take care of you. I do. Because then I know, at least if I'm not around, somebody else is around to help take care of you. Help watch you. Help keep you company. No, I don't get that anymore. But I kept her as a coworker for that exact reason of, I'm not getting close to you. No, well, fuck no. But I'll accept your help if you want to give it.
She knew what she was doing when she made me feel like shit for doing the right thing. She wanted to hurt me and make me feel bad for calling the cops, which, by the way, you thanked me last time I called because it showed that I cared, and that's whenever her and her mom are wrong. The last time she called the cops on me, which I don't even remember why she did that.
Because you were saying that you were going to off yourself because we were fighting.
Yeah. Okay, so she called the cops on me, but it was 2 cops that came, and they were pretty nice. Well, one of them was, and he made me feel like shit. He was like, if I leave here and I get a call that you killed yourself, I'm going to feel like shit. I didn't do my job. I'm like, well, great, now I don't want to do anything because I don't want the cop to feel bad, because no cop has ever said that to me, so that made something in my heart. But this time, whenever there's like 20 men in my apartment, and I got taken away and I got put in the hospital, yeah, things are a little bit different. I'm not gonna fucking thank you for that shit.
That one cop pulled at your little heartstrings, and then next time...
So you can't be mad for doing it again. Actually, yes, I can. Because like I said, this time was a lot different because you made it seem like I was dying. I told you this time around that I called even the last time, and what did they do? Nothing, because you were fine. You weren't fine this time. Actually, I was pretty fine this time, other than I wasn't getting any sleep, and I was having a really bad day. I was pretty fine. And you weren't fine this time, and if you agree to go with the police and then run, of course they are going to run after you and grab you. Which, by the way, so you know DID, right? You know who Eddie is, right? Eddie is the autistic, nonverbal, scared little kid inside of my brain that got scared because people were dragging him outside. The cop told... Lay down. Lay down. Down, Coraline. Don't mind the blind on the floor. It fell from there again. I literally just had them replaced. These things are so easy to break.
Down.
I just don't want her to tell to get on my chocolate milk.
Now. Thank you.
She came back in here. She's like, okay, you guys are in a room.
She literally just like.
But yeah, having a cop literally grab me by my arm because I'm terrified of him, that's not gonna help anything. But whatever. So you act like this is unusual behavior from them when they don't know what you are. What am I? What am I? What am I? What am I? I'm a fucking human being that's terrified of people because I've been traumatized by people in this town because apparently no one knows that the things I have doesn't make me a bad person. It just means that I need a little bit more support. And if I tell a grown man, hey, I'm scared of you, that means back the fuck up and don't touch me. Because then if I get physical and start trying to fight a cop, it's going to be my fault, right? Because my PTSD got triggered, right? I'm going to be the bad guy? No, they are because they didn't respect what I said. So do you act like this is unusual behavior from them when they don't know who you are? Or what you are capable of. Yeah, definitely capable of murder. But you're right, it's all my fault. Yes, I'm really glad you admitted that part. It is your fault. It's all my fault that I chose to choose myself first. Alright? You choosing yourself first means you should not have called the cops. There, choosing yourself. Put yourself out of the situation like, okay, I don't know what's going on with her, but I'm doing a lot with school. Just you could have said, hey, do you want to die? Like, what? Your message is confusing. And I could have said no. And then I could have told you what I told Julie. I'm just not saying that on this video because not the time to say that. But yes, I'm really glad you admitted that it is your fault. See, everybody? It's her fault. Thank you so much. I really needed you to admit that. I just need you to admit that you're feeling guilty too, and that's what's destroying you is the guilt. Because guilt's one hell of a thing. It's all my fault that I chose myself first because I knew this is what was going to happen. So you knew that I was going to go to a mental hospital. And then you blocked me like a coward because you didn't want to deal with the consequences of your own actions. Well, I didn't do anything. I didn't make them do that. Actually, you did when you called and then you didn't even show up to the hospital when I was in the ER after Julie told you I was on a hold. You didn't show up there. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. No, nothing. But you did run out of class, right? As your mother told Julie, you're destroying my daughter. I hope you're happy. Yeah, I'm really happy your daughter is guilt. I am happy that your daughter is getting eaten alive by guilt. No one destroyed her. She did it to herself. Yeah, she's not going to try and blame the mentally unstable person right here or the wife that was just caring about me. My wife will literally cuss anyone out if they disrespect me. You know why? That's my rock. Because if someone's disrespecting me and if something I don't understand or know, or if they're just blatantly being an asshole to me, she has my back. And I have hers, especially if some cunt looks at her. What? Tell me if this...
Move on, get back on track, move on. Because it's going to take forever to upload.
It's already an hour and 3 minutes.
My point. And you still have 3 more pages.
2.
It's whatever, 2 more pages, but still.
Okay. Because I knew this was going to happen, and the difference between you and my friend that blocked me is that I at least gave you a reasoning. The reasoning of, I'm a coward. You're right, you are a coward. Everything is your fault. I said my goodbyes, I expressed how I felt, and that this right here was destroying my mental health, my mental and emotional health. Oh, I'm so sorry that the guilt is eating you alive. I'm so sorry you put yourself in my life. You and your mother invested in me. That sounds kind of stalkerish if you ask me. Which, by the way, you and your mother both got mad because you... like a week prior to all this happening, you asked me if I wanted to go to Christmas. I said no, because I'm not leaving my family, which is my cat and my wife and dog and other cat. I'm not leaving my animals here. So you're like, but it'll only be 6 days. And I said, yeah, no. I'm not leaving them, especially on Christmas. And I explained why Christmas is such a sensitive thing to me. And then the mother called like the next day and said, so will you come to Christmas? I'm like, yeah, I told your daughter no. Like, can't you guys respect I said no? So that's a little fishy that I said no, and then all of a sudden, we're not in your life anymore. All right, bye. See if I care. I gave you everything that I could before I broke, which, what did you give me? Because I gave the same thing. It was an equal friendship, was it not? It was an equal friendship for both of us spending money on each other and spending time on each other, right? Yeah. So, yeah, let's not try to be toxic and throw that in someone's face after a friendship ends. Because this friendship didn't end on a bad note until you made it a bad note. Because I still have conversations between me, you, and your mother the day and days prior to any of this. There was no fighting. There was nothing. So if there was something going on, maybe you could have communicated to me that, hey, this friendship's a little too hard for me, bro. I'm in school right now. And I would have said, all right, we'll take a break and come to me whenever you're ready. Like, I'm very understanding. So, okay. And she knew that I was very understanding. Which, if it wasn't now, it would have happened eventually. I gave you warnings, which, no. What warnings did she give? I told you, like I said before school started, because you wanted to wean me off of you like I was stuck on you. No, like I said, it was equal. You wanted to come here. I wanted to go there. You wanted to hang out with me. I wanted to hang out with you. It wasn't just me saying, hang out with me, Lee. Hang out with me. Hang out with me. I'm more important than anything. No, you're making me seem like that kind of person. That's not it. Because like I said, I'll be damned if you're going to smear my name like this and make me seem like a bad person. No, I'm telling both sides of the story. I'm not just going to sit here and dog you and say, yeah, she was a bitch. You were a very big bitch when you did this. And you sent me to a hospital. Because this is a coward. You couldn't even see me face to face and like, look, this is a lot going on. I love you. And I said, well, I love you too. Is this like the end of our friendship? You said, yeah, maybe for now. We can take a break for a while until maybe I can take a fall break. But yeah, I really hope you go find some new friends that don't have any mental illnesses. Because, honey, a lot of people nowadays have a mental illness that you probably won't know about. But I really hope you find your best friends. Definitely won't be me. Because I'm going to try really hard not to be that stupid and gullible. Or change myself for anybody. Because you were telling me how you had to break so many boundaries. That's your fault for doing that then. I never asked you to break a damn thing. I never asked you to change for me. I never asked anything but for your friendship and your loyalty in return. And for you to be honest with me. But you didn't. You didn't do any of that. Now you're sitting here trying to blame me and make it seem like it's all my fault because you're going to throw the mental unstable person under the bus. Congratulations on that. I wish more mentally unstable people come in your life and then show you what it's like to be shit on. Get shit on, kid. Get shit on. Sorry, I watched too much TikTok. I have to spend the following 24 hours worried about whether you are safe or not. And instead, I get told that you are pissed at me and every little thing that I could have done better. Which, by the way, Julie, explain that part of your messages. Shall we show the internet the messages between you and her?
I will read the last message that I sent.
Because that part is, oh, I only got a message that you were pissed. All right, we're going to show the actual message so you guys know we're not lying because I'm not going to be made to feel like any of this is my fault. No, honey, not my fault. I was very clear with you from the beginning of the friendship that I am not okay here. Like I said, doesn't make me a bad person. It's just me admitting that I'm very weak sometimes. So here.
Okay, so the last message I sent to her before she blocked me was, she was trying to tell you what she told me, that she wanted to talk to a cop about her brother, but she couldn't see because her vision has been really messing with her. Yesterday, there was no reason to mention her being suicidal literally at all. If you were that concerned, either you could have went there or told me to physically go and show you she was fine. Nobody listened to either of us, and they haven't given her clothes back or even placed her yet. Literally there for over 12 hours, and I had to leave to let Cora out. So now I'm fighting to get back to Cora to let her out, and then back to the hospital before she wakes up. That's literally it. That's the last thing I sent to her before she fucking blocked me.
No, why don't you post about the part where she said in this one that she got a message that I am pissed and every little thing that she could have done better.
I'm not seeing that.
No, with you, that she admitted that I was going to hate her. Because that's what she's talking about. That she got a message from you that I was pissed.
Okay, so she didn't get a message from you, but she did get a message from me. So, the message from me that even mentions you even being pissed is, I lied, by the way. She's very mad at you, and you lost Maddie's trust. I see both sides here, but the cop grabbed her. Like, she went to run back inside because she was scared after there was 10 people in her apartment, and they were going to get in a cop car, so she ran, and the cop chased her and grabbed her. That's it.
Yep.
That was it.
So she's trying to make me feel bad because I was pissed at something she did.
The very last message was, I told them to be calm and cautious. I can't help what they do on their own accord after she asked me to call them for her. I had a feeling she'd be pissed, and honestly, if she wants to be, she has every right to. I did what she asked. That was the last message she sent.
But you guys heard it, and that's right there in the messages. She admitted that I was going to be mad, but now is complaining that I was mad. Makes no sense. Okay. So let's read the last message. Because I'm supposed to just ignore your pleas for help. No. My pleas for help was, please help me, I'm dying, I'm bleeding out, I got too deep. That's pleas for help. Me saying INEEDCOPS. And then some other gibberish after that. It's literally still on my Snapchat. I'm not deleting it. Because I like reading what I said. I'm like, okay, I could understand how that could be and make her seem that I need the cops. But why didn't she ask further? And she even admitted here that she asked. I didn't say yes or no. So therefore, I could have been fine, right? But she didn't even call me. No, she called everybody else except for Julie. And she didn't even call me. That's funny. That's funny because that is trying everything. That's trying everything. But Julie already knew. Julie told her before all of this happened, blow up my phone. I'm going to answer. Blow up my phone and I will answer. Because she did it before. So I don't know why this time was different. I guess it's just so much for her. I was so much. So much. Let us not forget that even when I do have time for you, it was always so negative how Julie is threatening you, like shit that life is just kicking your ass, and the constant attempts to tell me that you are talking to complete strangers, that you're going to help kill yourself, which I really love you throwing that in my face. I told you that in what is that? Solidarity. Because she's bringing out the people that I've been talking to, which that's private, by the way. I really love you throwing that in my face because that makes me feel better, right? That makes me, I can tell anybody anything and they're going to be my best friend because that's what they called me. But then they're going to throw it in my face. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't like that. I'm sorry you were friends with a suicidal person. Oh my God, how many times do I have to fucking say this shit, dude? I am a suicidal person. Am I gonna lie about it? No. Because now you want to know the truth? Go ahead. Let's know the truth. Let's tell every little dirty thing about me, right? Because whenever I tell you things in private and you throw them in my face, yeah, you're not a best friend. You're a backstabbing bitch. I know this video is not gonna get anywhere, but I'm pissed. Because, no, I don't think I read this. Well, I didn't read this part. So, sorry that I went to my best friend and said, vented, you know. Isn't that what friends do? Aren't they supposed to vent to each other? Julie, you're no longer allowed to vent to me. I'm going to throw it in your face. Go ahead and tell me you want to die. I'm just going to write you a letter and say, how dare you want to die? Like, what?
I barely loved you in the first place if you were her.
But you still do, and that's going to be hurtful for me to throw shit like that in your face. I want her to go through everything I did and come out on the other end and see how well she is.
Continue.
Because I could go on and on about everything that happened. So, do you honestly believe any of that is healthy for the both of us? Sorry, if it wasn't healthy for you, you didn't have to stay in my life. You had no obligation to stay in my life. No one was forcing you or putting a gun to your head. You did it to yourself. So let's just say that. Huh. No, I do what I do because I'm allowed to not want to be alive. After everything that's happened to me, I'm allowed to feel pain and sadness, and it's not just going to go away because the assaults still happen on me. They've happened up until this year. And even I get dogged in public whenever a man comes up behind me and my heart starts beating fast and I'm like, is he gonna hurt me? So yeah, sorry that shit doesn't just go away. Do you honestly think I'm just going to be fine after hearing and seeing this stuff nonstop? So sorry. So sorry. You could have said sooner, but you waited until I was sent to a hospital because of you. And then you want to back out and go, oh no. No, like I said, you were just a coward. You are a coward. You are very fake because all of this, where was the communication? You could have said that to me, just, hey, why are you talking like that? And I explained to you everything. And if I tell people the same things I told you and they ask me questions, I'm going to explain why I'm doing it. And if I can't explain, that means it's not me and I'm not coherent and I'm not sane at the moment because mental illness. In some ways, our friendship was rewarding. I doubt that. I really doubt that. It was very fake and lies. And I won't lie, I enjoy... Oh, now you're not going to lie. Okay. And I won't lie, I enjoy being needed. That makes no sense with what she said on the other page about you're not my caregiver, but you enjoy being needed. So make up your fucking mind, because you were telling me things and all of this is here. So are you lying now to make yourself feel better? Or were you lying the whole friendship? So you're very confusing to me just as I was confusing to you. So take blame for yourself, hun. But you needed me too much. Nope. Didn't really need you too much. I needed my wife. And also, you were very jealous of my wife. That's something I'm going to point out there. Because I was flirting with you and I kept telling you if you wanted to be in our relationship since we're polyamorous, you're more than welcome to. But then after a while, I was like, you know what? No. And I flirt with you. That's fine. I flirt with anyone because that's the kind of person I am. I'm a very flirtatious person. But whenever I would kiss my wife, you're not the only one who can feel energies. Julie, what energy did you feel when I kissed you when she was around?
She would either get pissed or heavily jealous. And jealousy is a very strong emotion. So it radiates very easily.
And what did she do to you at the club?
Pulled your face closer to hers just so she could blow smoke in your face and then just waited. Literally stared and waited for a reaction out of me that she never got.
Yeah, she literally went, come here. Come here. Come here. Nuh-uh, ma'am. Get back away from my damn chocolate milk. What'd you do? Go ahead and do it.
I thought you were going to do that to me.
No, you do it. So she did this. Ah! Do it.
Well, you were facing that way.
Okay, so
she literally did this.
and she blew smoke in my face and then kind of looked at my wife on the side of her eye, just was like, you seen that? I'm just like, huh?
And I'm sitting here like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah. Because anytime we would kiss, she would just go and look very, very upset that we were kissing. I'm just like, confusion. So I could write a letter about her being jealous too. Because I asked her, I'm like, do you want to be in this relationship? And she was like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay. Settle. Thank you. Okay, so You needed me too much, which, no thank you. I did not need you that much. Not as much as she's making it seem. I wanted a friend. I wanted a really good friend, and that's what I thought I had, a friend that we could just talk about anything. Because my last friend, Vida, she was amazing, and I don't have anything bad to say about her because, honestly, I think I fell in love with her. But she stopped talking to me and Julie for no reason. I don't know why. I think it was just her dealing with her own problems, but I will always miss her. And I have nothing bad to say about her. But you needed me too much, more than what I could give you, which I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I take care of myself most of the time. Julie takes care of me. I have my own service dog, which she also didn't like my service dog, and she would get mad when I brought my service dog with me. She would just, do we have to bring her? Yeah, she's my service dog. She's supposed to help me. She may not look like it sometimes if I'm on the ground. She's jumping all over the place, but that's because she's very anxious and she's like, no, Mom fell. I don't know what to do. Because usually someone else is there with me and she tells them, she's like, hey, help her. But when no one else is there, she's like, what do I do? She just tries to keep people away from me if it's me and her. She's an okay dog, I guess.
She just side-eyed that.
Nuh-uh. Don't get up here. No, ma'am. Stay down there. More than what Julie can give you. No, more than what Julie can give you. I'm not saying that I am perfect. I'm not saying that you are the problem, which kind of sounds like it to me. I'm saying that I reached my limit, and everyone has a limit. Yes, everyone does have a limit. My limit is being lied to and mistreated, and yeah, I can go on about other things, but if I do, this video is gonna be longer.
Is 2 hours ain't long enough?
What's 1 hour and 21 minutes? It's fine. I did truly cherish our friendship. I'm not gonna comment on that. But it was taking a huge toll on me that I didn't want to acknowledge. So I'm sorry for that, for not telling you how this was affecting me. But even if I had told you, you would have blamed yourself and... That? You would have blamed yourself?
And quite possibly ended this friendship anyways, because that is who you are, acting like you know her so well.
Yeah, I would never blame myself for that. I would have... If she came at me and said all of this, I would have gotten mad at her. I'm like, why didn't you tell me any of this sooner? Why did you keep dragging me along all summer long after spending almost every single day together, which, by the way, you initiated some of them and you wanted me to hang out too. You were like, hey, come hang out with me. Hey, come do this with me. You didn't really give me an option. Most of the times you're like, you're coming with me. And I'm like, okay. I never really had an option sometimes, so yeah. The letter that you wrote kind of just seems like you're trying to put me down as the scapegoat and make yourself, well, I was just trying to be the good guy. Okay.
No, you know what this letter says? This letter says she got some deeper fucking issues.
Yeah, I thought I had issues. Read the last part.
The reason I say that is because there's these 2 pages that are blatantly blaming you and me for her leaving. And then it's like a switch flips halfway down here, and she's apologizing and then starting to get all mushy.
Read the last part.
Last part is, you are a kind-hearted, beautiful soul that is haunted by so much. I honestly thought I could handle it, and when I wasn't in school, I could, but right now, as of this moment, I cannot, and you can't force me to. I do love...
Pause. I would never force anyone to be in my life, by the way. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but
Why are you, so they can see you
It's
talking?
fine, I don't care. I do love you, and I am sorry if it feels like me and my mom wasted your time. She only blocked you out of severity.
Solidarity. I don't know how to
Serenity. That's not how you spell that. Of protecting me. She loved you too, which is why
LOL.
which is why this kills me to cut you out so abruptly, because I know you I know you would do anything in your power to make this friendship work, even if it meant coming
Nope.
over to my apartment, spamming my phone with multiple calls, and begging me not to end it, but for my mental, emotional, and
Pause.
physical health.
Pause. I would never beg anyone to be in my life because, unlike them, what they're trying to make me seem, I have self-worth, bitch. I have self-worth. I would honestly be hurt. And I'm like, you want to leave? Fine, leave, but don't come back. Don't come back, because if you come back, I'm going to be pissed and I'm never going to forgive you. So no, I would never beg anyone to be in my life. Not even this one. Because I even told her, I have some rules and boundaries. If she disrespects them, she's gone. But I don't think she's going to be leaving me anytime soon. I'm
Let's
holding
get
her hostage.
Let's get this over with. Oh, you just said you don't force anybody to live and then I'm holding her hostage.
She's... Oh
I'm
no.
the only exception.
Oh, it's on my phone. Stop. Yeah, I'm holding her hostage. No, I'm holding her hostage with my love. Not my body, though. Okay.
But for my mental, emotional, and physical health, I cannot continue this friendship. You should widen your friend groups, continue going to therapy, and probably not be friends with mandatory reporters if you don't want the cops called on you. You are a good person, you have a huge heart, and have grown so much, which makes me believe that you will survive survive this, even if it hurts. I won't be giving you any money because you still owe my mom $200
Pause.
for groceries. But she's willing to give that up to repay any debts I may have. I love you and I wish the best for you.
All right, let's go back on that. I won't be giving you... when did I ever ask you for money? When did I ask your mom for money? Oh, yeah, that's right. Never. Your mom gave me money because I was very open about our financial situation, and I still am, which we're broke bitches. So... when did I ever ask? Yeah, that's right. Never. I never asked. Your mom gave me $200 out of the kindness of her heart. But she did say, before she gave it to us, she's like, here, I'm going to give you $200, but I would like for you to pay it back when you have money. When you have money. And I said, are you sure about that? I don't like taking things from people because I don't like having things thrown in my face like that. Yeah, I don't know the part about I won't be giving you money. I think I have more money than she does. Honestly, I think I have more money if I can pay my rent. That's $14.70 a month.
And that's rent alone. That's not including the almost $1,000 in car payment.
$500 car note, $310 insurance, and then let's not forget groceries, animal care, my care. Oh my goodness, groceries.
Let's not forget other bills on top of that.
Yeah. So, hon, why would I ask you for money ever? Because you're broke too. Yeah. And I did, by the way, in another video, I thought I did say that. I did text her mom on Julie's phone number. I'm like, I still owe you $200, so when would you like that? She didn't even acknowledge that. It was still, blame your wife. You ain't getting the $200 then. I don't ask anyone for shit. Actually, yes, I do. I ask family. I'm like, hey, can you guys help if we need help with...
It's family that we know got money to help.
Yeah, we ask family, like her family, her side of the family, which they're not the kindest either, but they've helped us a lot. She would ask if they can help with rent, and they would usually help with rent, or if they can help with animal care. You know, that's normal things because we're not rich, and since I don't have a job and she barely gets hours, she gets like 30 hours a week, 20 hours a week, that's really hard on us. But I have hope that the universe will listen to me, and it helped already. You know, it paid our rent this month. Magical. Don't know how it happened, but I'm not going to complain. I know I was just complaining the night before. I'm like, universe, please listen to me. And then we woke up and I'm like, rent's paid now. So that...
rent's paid and we got some extra.
Yeah, so that was very nice for the universe to do that. So now we're just going to take these and shove them where the sun don't shine, because I'm very hurt by all of that, as you guys may have seen an hour and 30 minutes later. If anyone lasted to the end, I'm so sorry, but here's your reward. I'll eat them for you, and some chocolate milk. But I appreciate anyone who did sit through this video of listening to me rant and go off. It's not easy reading something from your supposedly best friend and saying how that their friendship took a big toll because of you, the mentally unstable one. Yeah, really like that getting thrown in my face. That's not fun. So, by the way, BSA for anyone who has any person.
Finish your thought.
Well, you were rubbing my foot.
Squeezed your foot. That's it.
But for anyone who has any friends with a mental illness, I'm always going to keep making these videos, and I would like to hopefully, I have another video I will post tomorrow that a personality named Star made. It's kind of very emotional, so I need to wait. But anyone who ever has any friend with a mental illness, and if you struggle, I know one person that can help. My wife.
Huh? No.
Yes, my wife can help because she has been the one that's been living with me for years and has been the only one here nonstop when my mental health has went down the drain and down the garbage disposal and down the toilet. You know, it just keeps getting worse, but hopefully it gets a little bit better by the end of the year. But you guys can always go to her and ask her for advice because she still struggles right now, but she can at least try and say how she's helped and that she can give some advice because she's dealt with me a lot. And I don't like saying that and dealt with me, but she has had to deal with really bad parts of me that, like she said, she has gotten beat up by Carter because Carter was pissed and she was the only thing there. So she has realized that just because I have these, that we're both doing our own research, and every day is a lesson for both of us about what helps. And the only thing I say that helps me is calm, distract, reassure, support. That's all that helps, especially distraction. But I'm hurt, and I have to wait until the pain of getting tossed out like I was garbage. I have to let that sink. I have to bury it, but I'm not ready to bury it right now. Not until I can let myself heal. Because once I heal, then I can bury it and say goodbye. But I can't right now, and hopefully there won't be no more YouTube videos about this because I definitely will be contacting her, and if she comes back in my life. But I have my wife. I have my animals. And hopefully I have some new friends. I'm just kind of scared because I don't know how to move on after the whole half of the year was spent with this person that I thought was going to be in my life for a while. I thought we were going to at least make it Thanksgiving. Nah, that didn't happen. If I do see her out in public, I'm just going to keep going my own way. I really hope that one day she realizes how bad she fucked up. And then when she tries to come back, that's your karma. Because you turned on someone. Tell me you fucking heard that. Dude, something just knocked on the door.
Do you want me to go and check?
Or not on the door, something knocked somewhere.
Hey, don't do that. He's gonna shoot at me.
No. Please don't get up. I'm scared.
I know you're scared.
Son of a bitch.
Shush.
We have a ghost problem.
Enough. You can't. Shush. Enough.
Who's there? It wasn't at the door.
It sounded like it was on the wall over here.
Yeah, it was like...
Cats were fighting or something. Remember, his cats get
Go.
up there. He
I
allows
don't
his
know.
cats to get up there, so I don't know.
It literally sounded like something knocked on the door.
Like hits the dog.
Not the door, but it sounded like someone knocked. Like, I'm... Like, I know this is supposed to be my therapy session, but I'm also
They don't.
gonna try and make ghost content, but I'm actually scared of what is in here because it's getting a little bit more and more aggressive. But anyways,
What was that?
huh?
Like, what the fuck was that?
But anyways, I think that's my time to go bye-bye and go to bed. So thank anyone who finished it 1 hour and 33 minutes later. Thank you for finishing it. And if you have anything bad to say, you can shove it where the sun don't shine either. But if you have something positive to say or anything like that, feel free to drop a comment. Bye. Oh, wait.